What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. This episode we're gonna try a new Let's Play. And I wanted to pick a team that's in the lower leagues. I chose a team in the English League 2 and I chose Exeter City. Now I chose them because I think everything around the club is interesting. The city itself is located in southwest England and has a population of around 130,000. And I think it's a shame that that big of a city only has to settle with League 2 football. So my main task is going to bring Premier League football to Exeter. That's going to be the main task of the Let's Play. Premier League football for Exeter. Now Exeter City F.C. is they're playing at St. James Park, and the stadium itself has a place for around 8,700 people. So if I'm going to advance to the Premier League, I will obviously be needing a new stadium. So that's hopefully something that I can do, I can manage, I can persuade the board to build a new stadium. It's something that I have been trouble getting approval for whenever I've been playing Football Manager, so I would really like that, and I think we have a good chance of doing that because we have a fairly small stadium and the city is fairly large and can support a lot of supporters. Welcome to Football Manager, and let's take a look at the club vision for Exeter City. Now, they want us to use our youth system to develop some good youth players. Not something that is super important for them, but it's important for me because whoever I manage in Football Manager, and it's been like this for at least the last 6 or 7 Football Manager games, I like to use this youth system and develop some good youth players. That's just something I personally like to do. It brings something extra to Football Manager to develop your own players using your own youth system, scouting some good youth players, instead of just splashing the cash and just grabbing every high profile player you can get. So that's something I'm definitely gonna work on. Now there's something really important here. That's the finance part, and that's working within the wage budget. We can do that. We have a decent amount in the wage budget and we can make that work. Now in the competition part here, they want us to, and that's really important here, they want us to reach the playoffs in the first season in the League 2. They want us to reach the second round as minimum in the FA Cup and be competitive in Carabao Cup. Not to be competitive, it's a little bit difficult to put some words and metrics on that. I just think they don't want us to lose 5-6-0 and just crash out. So yeah, that's something we will try not to do then. And they want us to develop the best youth system in League 2. This is interesting because they didn't put much importance in developing players. But yeah, we'll try to make this work. Yeah, definitely. Now, in the end of next season, they want us to gain automatic promotion to League 1. This is going to change because, yeah, we're definitely going to get promoted already this first season. I'm pretty sure of it. But yeah, they want us to get a promotion to League 1 and then just stay in League 1. That's definitely something we're going to work towards. Now looking at the squad here, once I take over a team I'm not managed, I don't know, the first thing I do is just take a look at the assistant manager's report on the players. Now, you all know this. You go into the squad and under the filter here, just pick reports, and you all know these stars and ability and potential and so on. It's a really big part of Football Manager, but some of you may know this, others may not. The stars here, it's not something that is 100% correct. It depends on your assistant manager. The assistant manager is the one that, or the scouts if you're using them, but in this situation, it's the assistant manager that is giving me these stars on the players. So it depends on the assistant manager's stats in certain attributes like judging potential, judging ability, and so on. But it still gives a fairly decent overview over what players are good in your team and what are not so good, who are the young players that have some potential, and so on. It's good to get an overview like that once you start managing a team you haven't managed before. So I just sorted by ability like this, get the best players top, and then just look at the squad here. It's actually that easy. And you can get some good players. Look at how good players you have. We have some good lone players here. Good keeper, good wing, good offensive midfielder. So you can get a decent look at your players like that. Now the next thing I do is go into the analyst report and go into the comparison. Now this will give you a comparison about how your squad performs in attributes compared to the rest of the league, the teams in your league. Now I'm gonna take a look at the defenders first and foremost, and the attributes. I'm gonna pick these tabs up here. That's the attributes, and this is the players themselves. So I want to filter only the defense players and defensive attributes, so tackling, heading, marking, and so on, strength. So the green part here, the green bar is the highest average in the league. These one are the average of each attributes, and the blue one is the lowest. So as you can see, I'm low in every aspect here, only average in acceleration. So my defense is actually not that good. What about the physical part in the physical part in defense? So I have some fairly good agility. Acceleration is average, good stamina, and good balance. So physically my defenders are okay, but overall not that good. So let's take a look at our midfielders. And you can pick the midfield stats, and I'm going to filter for midfield players. Again, terrible. The only good thing here is decision making. So the passing is not that good. Stamina is also below average. Teamwork below average. Technically long shot. So we don't have that good players. What about the strikers? Do we have good strikers? Well, our strikers are fast. That's something. So we can maybe use some passing into space or just running at the defense here because we have some fast attackers. That's maybe something that will give us an edge, because this year is not good. Finishing almost the bottom of the league. Anticipation is the bottom. I mean, yeah, we don't have that good players. So again, I use this report here, analyst report with comparison, just to see how my squad performs against the other squads in the league. It will give me some insight into what my squad is good at and what they're bad at. And then I can use that information to create a tactic that is actually using the strengths of my squad. So the next part here is making a tactic. So I've created 3 tactics here I'm gonna try to use with Exeter City here. I've already done some test games, and as you can see, I lost 3-0 the first game with the first tactic, and yeah, that was a little embarrassing here. I beat Manchester United's under 23 team with 2-0, and then Telford 4-1 here. And this was the tactic I used where I lost 3-0 to my second team. I was thinking about doing some control possession here with this tactic. Have a defensive midfielder that can cover for my defenders because they really sucked, and then use the left side here for some overload play. Use my shadow striker as a false 9, Matt J I think he's called, and because he has some actually decent stats, and then use him to kind of drop down here, but it really didn't work out for me. So the next game I used this tactic, a little bit more aggressive, still use a little bit a defensive midfielder here that can stay back and cover for my 2 defenders here. I won 2-0 I think against the Manchester United team, under 23 team, so it was a decent result. And the third tactic here is one of my favorite tactic, and I just can't let the tactic go. I mean, I used the tactic to bring Sunderland up into Premier League in the Football Manager 2020. I did a review of this tactic where, granted, I did finish 5th with Chelsea, but Lukaku scored almost 100 goals, as far I can remember, with this tactic. So I also did score 4 goals with this tactic against Telford. So this tactic might be one I'm going to use because I just love this tactic. I just love it. I'm thinking about using the 4-3-2-1 and this tactic, and then this tactic if I want to play a little bit more defensive. But still, I'm gonna work with this and see if I can perfect the tactic. I'm still not sure if this is gonna work with the players I have, but I will try to make it work and just see how far I can go. I still have 2 games here, friendlies. I'm gonna be playing here just to perfect the tactic and figure out which tactic I'm gonna use in the league. So that's pretty much the introduction to Exeter City here. It's gonna be a little bit different than my Roma Let's Play. I'm not gonna show every single game like I did with Roma. I'm just gonna do some recaps and maybe show one game per episode, the most interesting game, and just do a recap and just to advance a little bit faster because I'm thinking about doing this Let's Play for a longer period of time, maybe all the way up to the Premier League. So it's gonna continue over many seasons. So no point in showing every single game. That's just silly. And I'm sure you're not interested in that either. So I'm gonna show the highlights, show some transfers, big games, and changes in tactics, so on. That's it for this first episode with Exeter City. No games to show this, but just an introduction to the Let's Play. Next episode, I'm gonna show the first couple of games here with in the league, maybe Bradford and Swansea. Gonna show these 2 games, and yeah, we're gonna see where the Let's Plays take us. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you next time.